need to get them to care as much as you do. But I think we also need to be able to adapt our culture.
Yes. Now, it's one thing for somebody to follow you when you're paying them a salary, and it's another thing for somebody to follow you if you don't pay them anything at all. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Buzzing Podcast. Roché, our last one, it came quickly. So let's just quickly touch on that. I don't want to say it is because women are better in handling employees, but I've experienced with myself that I rather get my wife to speak to the employees and everything, because sometimes we get a little bit frustrated too quickly. But you and I actually went through this process where we went through this thing called Gallup Strengths, right? Where you actually assisted me in terms of that as well, to understand that not all of us in business, my vision and my understanding is not necessarily the same as my bookkeepers or my accountants. So explain a little bit for us the importance of understanding our employees in our working environment.
If I look at Gallup, especially Gallup, now you mentioned just that you and your wife had a bit like she needs to handle the stuff and you don't. So in our case, that would be turned around.
Yes.
Because Martin is the one that's going to handle it better than I would.
Yes.
So, but that comes down to knowing your employees.
Yes.
And Gallup has helped me a lot with that. We try to, when we employ someone new, we get them to do the Gallup assessment, Gallup Strengths, basically, which focuses on the strengths of your employee. So this doesn't go to, this is your strength and this is your weaknesses.
Yes.
It's what are you good at?
Yes.
What comes naturally for you? And knowing and investing in your employees with that, not only do they get to know themselves better, which builds confidence, but also you get to know what they're naturally good at.
Yes.
So positioning them in your company in a place where they can do something they're naturally good at.
Yes.
Only builds your company.
Yeah, wow.
And at the end of the day, if you look at placing an employee in your system, like we've built our own systems over the years, and obviously I built them because I was the one working on them. But not everybody operates like I do.
Yes.
So now I'm forcing these employees to do my system. But my system's not working for them because that doesn't fall into their strengths in their natural way of doing it.
Yeah.
So now we're saying, okay, but you have to do your job, and they're not doing it. So it's written warning after written warning after written warning, because they're just struggling because they have to get a learned capability instead of something that they can do naturally.
Yeah.
So for me, by just adapting my systems around the strengths that my employees have, has helped my company to function better.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think this is one thing I definitely learned when I was doing that as well, is not to call it a weakness. To say that your employees doesn't have weaknesses, it's just some strength that are not as good as the other strength. And I think just changing that aspect already, understanding that every single aspect is a strength, the one is just not as good as the other one. And that's also, I think, motivating the employees, right? Not to see them as a weakness, or not to see a weakness inside of them, but saying, we care about you, we believe in you, but we think you're going to be a little bit more effective in a different department, or a little bit more effective in something else. And that's something that I saw as well when I started doing a little bit of reshuffling in the company, to say, wow, now I see somebody's strength really coming out because they are actually more admin orientated than figure orientated, right? So now you're getting to that point where you learn more about yourself. We spoke about women in business. We spoke about you with your husband in business. So it all comes down to a culture that's being created. So how do you get to a point where you really feel that this is the culture I want in my business, and how you get your employees to transition into that culture with you?
I used to be the stuck-up one in the company. So I used to be the no fun person, do your job, get things done.
Yes.
And I think you kind of lose focus of the fact that those people spend more time with you than they spend with their own families.
Sure. Yeah.
And that changed my mindset.
Yes.
And Martin mentioned in the episode too that they take their boogie boards in the back of the bakkie. And so kind of because we're sitting in an office, you kind of lose the fun of it all. And we just started doing simple things. I mean, like when we had clients complaining, we would do this thing where we just get our frustration out. So we do jumping jacks and just to let that energy out because it builds up.
Yeah.
And we'd find ways to make it more fun.
Yeah.
Maybe just taking a walk around the block.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to sit there the whole day. We get stuck sitting behind the computer the whole day, and just getting practical things into place, which is sometimes it's such a stupid thing, just being childish actually.
Yes.
And just getting a bit of fun into what you do, because yes, we have a job that we need to do. But we forget that we're also human.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
we forget that those people spend so much time there.
Yes.
And when are they supposed to have fun?
Exactly.
So we did a thing also where we would give everyone different names in the company. So Martin already has 3 names, so I use them. So he's Martin Johannes Ludovicus.
Yeah.
So Martin is my husband.
Yes.
We're married, and that's cool. Johannes, he's the guy that works with me, because sometimes I just want to talk to Martin. I don't want to talk to Johannes. And then Ludovicus, he's not very nice. I don't like him. He's rude. Sometimes we shout at each other and everything. So, but we've given each other names. And then I've got the name that's CC, because sometimes there's just this big communication gap in the company, and everyone's like talking to each other. And I'm like, you're not understanding each other. I need to fix this.
Yeah.
So I jump in the middle and I just start to translate between the people, and like, no, this is what he meant, and this is what she meant, and this was what's supposed to happen.
Wow.
So that also makes it fun.
Yes.
When you put the phone down and it's like, no, Johannes had to sort this out.
Yeah.
And then you just laugh and you just get the
that's
fun
so
back
great.
into it all.
Wow, what a great way to do it. And it's really something that with the culture in a company, that it's always something that you need to work on, right? So I even watched or listened to this other podcast of Dave Ramsey that says he took 40 years to build this culture in his company, and still every single day it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. And it's being able to understand that, yes, 8 hours, at least 8 hours a day, those employees are spending time at that workplace. So it needs to be a healthy environment.
Yes.
And in the beginning, I needed to make the change as well, from thinking that with frustration, you're going to sort everything out. But it's actually just getting to the point where you give the people the understanding that if you don't want to be here, and if this is not the kind of culture that you want to grow in, then the door is wide open for you to leave, right? And I think from me, from a Christian perspective, in like, I want to love my neighbor. So I need to understand that I need to love those people. And it's sometimes so hard because, I mean, they make mistakes in work, and you get the client phones you and shouts at you and everything. And it's difficult then to love that person, but it's almost just encouraging them every single day. Like, this is so important for us, because this is our calling, and this is a calling in the business. So I think it's great, like with you guys initiating that and creating something fun like that, like giving Martin 3 names, because it's fun.
Yes.
And we need to bring that into business. So how important is it for us as business owners to invest in our employees?
I was actually going to add on to what you just said, and that it comes down to what you're asking now as well. And I think like we do tend to build a culture, but I think we also need to be able to adapt our culture.
Yes.
Because sometimes we forget, like, these people that work for us, they go through personal stuff. They have issues at home, and they would come to work, and I'm especially one that's very tough on everyone, and there's a way of doing it, and you make sure that you do it right.
Yes.
And believe me, they would say, like, I'm the tough one on getting the structure right and doing it as it should be. And also, but I've recently realized that sometimes we need to stop and ask why.
Yes.
Why did this person screw up?
Oh.
Because if you just stop for a moment and call that person into your office, close the door,
Yeah.
and say, listen, are you okay?
Yeah. Sure.
did something happen? Because you don't tend to do work like this.
Wow.
Because we immediately go into like, this client was just shouting at me, I'm going to shout at you. And we basically take on a vicious cycle instead of maybe just stopping for a moment and saying, this is out of character for you.
Yes.
You do not usually do work like this. Why?
Wow.
And then focusing into that. And that's why, as I said in the previous episodes as well, we offer a therapist or someone they can speak to.
Yes.
Because maybe they don't have that friend that they
Exactly.
can talk to. And I've seen that there's a lot of people coming into your company, and we've had a lot of them that come and go. But people are broken, all of us.
Yeah.
And not everyone has the support systems.
Yes.
So you become the family.
Exactly.
You become the boss, yes. Keep the respect, keep the levels in your company, true. But becoming the friend also, and just saying, listen, where are you at? Why is this happening? You need to pull yourself together. Yes, you cannot do work like this because this is looking bad for my company and our company at the end of the day. But you need to pull yourself together. But let's just stop for a moment and say, why are you there? And talk to someone if you want to. Here's someone that you can talk to. Take a half an hour extra on your lunchtime or whatever. Speak to this person. Get it out. Sort it out. Get your job done well. And in the meantime, you also help heal those people.
Definitely. And so I heard, well, it's actually my pastor said, it's one thing for somebody to follow you when you're paying them a salary. And it's another thing for somebody to follow you if you don't pay them anything at all. And I think we almost want to create an environment where your employees can follow you, not because of you paying them a salary at the end of the month, but because they are believing in what you are doing. They are believing in the business and they understand and appreciate what they are going to every single day. And I told my wife this multiple times to say that it's crazy how the work becomes so many people's safe space because they don't have that healthy environment at their houses. So they come to the work and they're expecting that. And I think for us as business owners, we must sometimes just take a step back and say, wow, maybe this person is going through something. Maybe we need to focus on them. Maybe for a moment ask them, how are they doing? And not just be so focused on we need to get that next sale and that employee needs to do this right and everything. So I know there's something that, one of your employees told me that before, that you always ask them, where do you see yourself 5 years from now in the company, right? So how do you motivate your employees to start looking at their 5-year picture in your business or your 10-year picture in the business and not just think that this is only a month process that I'm going to be in?
I think you need to get them to care as much as you do.
Sure.
Because if you can draw them a picture of why you are doing this, they will believe in it too. Stopping with them for a moment and saying, what is your dreams? What's your aspirations? And pushing them towards reaching that. We've had people in our company that did the admin and they had other dreams on the side. And we motivated them to do that.
Sure.
So I think showing them that you care about them makes them care about you.
Exactly.
And caring about you makes them understand the dream that you are going for.
Sure. Wow, that's amazing. And it's so, once again, so important that we should always understand as small business owners that our employees are basically the foundation of the business, right? It's super important. So we need to be focused on creating a great culture for them. But Roché, that's all that we have for today. Really, thank you so much for your time, for you and Martin. And I'm just looking forward to what's next for you guys and so expectant in your business and everything. And for you small business owners, we appreciate you. You are the core foundation of this country. We want to motivate you to stand up tomorrow and say, today I'm going to make a difference. Please follow us on our social media platforms and follow the Buzzing app for more information.